Hello and welcome to the Superintendent's Perspective. I'm Lisa Ayala Hetler, ECISD Public Information Officer. Today I'm joined by Dr. Mario Salinas, Superintendent of Schools for Edinburgh CISD. Today we're going to continue our talk about our one-year anniversary, your one-year anniversary, being named Superintendent of Schools. Yes. So let's talk a little bit about what this year has been like for you.
Okay, let me just briefly review some of what we talked about at the last Superintendent's Perspective.
Yes.
We talked about the importance of having competitive salaries for teachers.
Yes.
Which we have the highest in the Valley, Rio Grande Valley. We talked about having a minimum wage of $15 an hour for all staff, minimum, whether you work as a cleaning staff or preparing food in the cafeteria or in the classroom. In Edinburgh CISD, all employees get paid a minimum of $15 an hour, which we think is significant.
Yes.
Our bus driver starting pay is $17 an hour, the start pay. And so we talked about that. We also talked about one of the big initiatives for us is the pre-K-3 for all families program.
Yes.
It's a big initiative for anybody in the community, even if you don't live in Edinburgh, but you work in Edinburgh.
That's right.
If your child is 3, September 1, they can come to our schools. And they're being taught by highly qualified teachers, not by tutors, not by substitutes. There's a highly qualified teacher in every single classroom with 3-year-olds and 4-year-olds. And in addition to that, certified teacher assistants as well. So we feel that is an initiative that is a game changer for us.
Yes.
Immediately, with immediate impact on our children, as we have seen, they have made much progress.
Investing on the front end, as you like to say, and seeing
right.
all of that.
And it's we're gonna reap immediate results and long term. We think that these 3-year-olds get a 1-year head start of high quality instruction, high quality academic experiences. We feel that is going to translate to academic success, and not only academic, social, emotional.
Yes.
You and I have been in the classrooms. The children are eager to talk to you, talk to me, talk to anybody that comes into the classroom.
They want to engage.
They're engaged with each other. They're talking to the teacher, talking to the aide. So that is a skill that children are learning, to get along with others.
Yes.
In addition to the academics, we think that these children, when they get to 3rd grade, they're going to be better prepared for the rigors of 3rd grade. We think they're going to be fluent readers. We believe they're going to get along with others. We believe that they'll be receptive to constructive criticism for their behavior or for their academic progress. We believe that these same 3-year-olds, when they get to the high school, they'll be better able to do rigorous academic work and then on to college and graduate from college. That's our ultimate goal.
Yes.
Interrupting the cycle of poverty.
Exactly.
You and I both know that the best way to do that is through a good education.
Research shows that participation in a high-quality after-school program has a tremendous impact on student outcomes, educational outcomes. It also helps with school attendance and overall social emotional learning. It helps students create connections with one another, with their school, with their teacher. It also, we have seen that it helps to achieve to close the gap, especially in our lower socioeconomic students.
And so that is something that is going really well for us, a pre-K-3 program. Many families are very pleased with what they've seen. We have the best pre-K-3 program in the state of Texas, maybe the United States of America. I will say that because I've seen it. Also, another big initiative that we started when I became superintendent is high quality after school programs.
Yes.
And that, of course, I became superintendent a year ago in February.
Right.
And we implemented these programs when school started. One of them being the pre-K-3 program, and the other one is a high quality after school program for all children. And it's not babysitting. And we tell those families that have children with us, either pre-K-3, pre-K-4, kinder, 1st, 2nd through 5, if they work in Edinburgh and they get off at 5, we're okay. We have high quality after school programs that the children can choose to stay in if the parents want them there.
We have heard from parents that have said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I was having to really try to figure out what I was going to do with my child after school. And, it does create a burden on some families. Well, anybody who wants to pay for something when you can get a high quality program free for your child. They're fed after school, they have a safe environment, and they're learning. I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And our superintendent made sure that this was available to our parents, to our families. So when you can have it after school till 5 o'clock every day, Monday through Friday, you don't go anywhere else. We have it here at ECISD.
And they really do well. I mean, they've got all these different kinds of opportunities, chess, dance, cheerleading, exactly what you're talking about. All of these things, the math, the esports, all of the things that you're talking about, they love. And that's what we've seen when we've gone to the campuses, I think, is that kind of interaction and exactly what you're talking about. Those are the goals.
We feel that after-school programs, it's not babysitting, it's academic programs, enrichment programs, UIO programs that are good for students. I am convinced 100% that after-school programs are just as important as the programs, the academic programs that we have 8 to 4. When you and I have been out there after school to see how these programs are working. And we have these programs. We have them at all schools, all 31 elementary schools, all of the middle schools, 7 middle schools, and the 4 high schools. So we've been out there, and we've seen the children cooperating with each other. We've seen the children cooperating with the teacher coach after school. And to me, when we walk into the classroom, and you and I have been in there, and there's a classroom, there's a table like this, and there's a child here, there's a child here, there's another child there, and they're all participating in whatever it is that they're working on. It could be dictionary skills. And they have the dictionaries, and they're studying their words and their strategies. It could be spelling, and they have all their resources spread out on the table. And
who even knew that was a real, something that was that big a thing?
I thought spelling was you get a list of words and you memorize them, but it's not.
No, it's a complete...
You study the word, you study the root, you study the origins, and so on. It's a science.
Yes.
Or they could be doing mathematics. And then you've seen the esports, how popular that is. You've seen the children do theater arts, the little ones. We've seen the children do cheerleading. There's all kinds of activities that we have for our kids after school, whether you're a 3-year-old pre-K3 program or a 5th grader.
Right.
And the program has been, in spite of the fact that we're not quite a year into it, the schools are getting better and better and better at doing this, and we aim to continue to improve our after-school programs. One thing that I want to point out to you, Ms. Ayala, is the after-school programs are being coached by teachers.
Yes.
It's not students from the university. It's not high school students. It's not substitutes. Teachers are responsible for the after-school program. So
that are qualified and certified, dedicated, and that are really loving every bit of this.
It's been a new experience. It's been a change. Although we were doing these programs before, it's just a different structure. And of course, more availability to more students. So that's been a good thing. And also involving, all staff members. And now that we're including the instructional paras to help after school, that's been a great help as well.
If you go into, let's say, for example, let's take my son, for example, just so I can use him as an example. I have an elementary age son. Monday he does chess. He likes to do chess, so he does chess on Mondays. On Tuesday he does fit club. They do physical fitness, in basketball. They run, things like that. On Wednesday they do Christian club.
Wow.
On Thursday they do spelling. and then on Friday they do something else. So every day there's something for him after school.
Something different, something engaging.
Something different
Wow.
for him to be exposed to good, high quality programs. Now, imagine, and they get off at 3:30 at the elementary school. We feed them, we give them dinner, and then they go into their programs for an hour, 3:45 to 5 o'clock. Right. Imagine that over the course of 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 18 weeks for one semester, and another 18 weeks for a second semester, 36 weeks. Just imagine the growth of the child in the span of that amount of time if they stay after school in a small group setting with a student-teacher ratio of maybe 8 to 10 students to a teacher.
Wow.
Imagine the growth. Just imagine it.
It's exponential. I mean, you think about it, how much that kind
Imagine the academic
Wow.
growth in the span of 1 year. And we're talking about extra instruction after school
Yes.
in a very intimate, high quality setting. You know, and that's at the elementary level. Now, if the child continues to participate in these UIL programs, as they get older, they get into the UILs.
Right.
UIL math, UIL ready writing, UIL dictionary skills, UIL pro, all of these science, and as they progress through the grade, can you imagine the growth by the time they get to the high school?
I'm in book club, library, maps, charts, and graphs, and one more, chess. The favorite part is that you get to stay longer, learn longer, which might come in handy in the future. Because like college, all this, and high school, junior high, it might come back and might be useful.
The Edinburgh CISD already has some of the best UIL programs at the high school level.
And we've shown that.
Yes, we have schools,
competition.
our high schools have won state championships
Yes.
in UIL. So, and in the past, then we made a big emphasis to have high quality after school programs at the elementary level.
Yes.
In the past, we had a select few schools, mostly inner city schools, with high quality after school programs. And maybe for a semester and a little bit more in a semester. Our initiative this year, as you know, is to have these same type of programs at all 31 of our schools, all the schools. You know, and and we do have them. Some schools are doing it better than others, but our goal is to eventually get them all at the same level of quality of providing for the parents.
And that's what's so groundbreaking and game-changing, is that it's at all the elementary campuses, not just a select few.
It's historic to have teachers doing after-school programs, extensive after-school programs after school. I haven't even talked about the fine arts,
I know.
the enrichment.
It's true.
You know, we offer that too.
Yes.
Child can have cheerleading. A child can have. We're just getting in our pianos finally. If a child wants to learn piano, every elementary school is going to have that opportunity for our children. They want to do choir. They want to do guitar. They want to do
Drama.
all theater arts. All of that is going to be available for our children. We are starting that program this year, but we are going to get better and better and better. You know, and why do we do it?
Right.
Why do we do it? Number one, the parents want that.
Exactly.
The parents want high quality after school program for their children. Many parents because they work, and many parents because they know that these programs are good for their children. The other reason we do it is that we know as professionals that these programs are very good for children when it comes to their social-emotional growth and when it comes to their academic growth. We want these children to, in the end, graduate from college.
Right.
That's what we want for them.
Yes. And be well-rounded and be able to...
Well-rounded.
Yes.
We want them to be able to communicate with each other. We
Yes.
want them to be able to accept constructive criticism.
Yes.
We want them to be able to excel at whatever it is they do in college with their academic work, and then after college with their work. With their work, we want them to do well.
That's what they're going to have to do, is communicate. They're going to have to be able to accept constructive criticism like you talk about, and that's exactly what we're doing. You're right, setting them up for that kind of success.
That's correct. And we haven't even talked about our biggest programs, you know, the sports and the music at the high school. Those
Right.
are big,
Yes.
and they're good for children. They're good for students to participate in the bands, to participate in the athletics. Those things are good, but we didn't even talk about
I
that.
know, there's so much.
Right.
You've brought in so much, and it's been so, amazing but that's what you wanted. That this is the leadership and the programs that you've heralded in and that you really wanted.
You and I went to Avila Elementary,
Yes.
and we were seeing the children, the small children,
Uh-huh.
a little bit bigger children. We saw them doing all these different UIL activities, math, chess, robotics. We saw a group of girls, maybe 6 or 7 or 8 years old. They were doing cheerleading stunts on the cafeteria stage. Remember that?
Yes, I do. They were so excited.
They
And
were excited.
Oh my gosh.
And I was telling the principal, these girls, I bet when they do this, and I think we were there on a Thursday.
Yes.
I bet they're never absent on a Thursday.
That's right.
They look forward to it.
To doing this after school.
It does help them, in the classroom. It helps with the attendance also because the kids want to be here because they want to stay for an after-school activity. So that in itself, helps a lot because they're here and their learning, of course, is going to be greater than, if they don't come to school.
We aim to, you know what, you and I, we're going to go back out there next week. And let's see where they're
All right.
at. Just give the principal a heads up that
There you go. Well, here we are.
there we headed. There's a lot of other things that we need to talk about,
Yes.
that we've done, that we've implemented, that we've initiated this year. But we'll continue to talk about these programs, and there's more coming.
Oh,
You know that.
Yes.
You can hardly wait to start talking about that, but
Stay tuned because there's a lot of news coming up for
yes,
sure.
there is. Next week we'll continue to talk about the new initiatives that we have implemented in Edinburgh in our efforts to make Edinburgh CISD the best school district in the state of Texas.
Absolutely.
Best, but as measured by parents.
That's right. And that's really what you have always said, measured by the parents, that
By
we
the
want
parents,
to be.
not by test scores, by parents saying, my son goes to a very good school. That's what we want, and that's how we measure that we're the very best in the state of Texas.
Absolutely. Well, absolutely. And that we will continue doing this. Again, we'll look back at your year here at the district and talk about all of the other programs. And heads up, Avila, we're going to go ahead and head that direction. So this concludes today's episode of our Superintendent's Perspective. As you always say, thank you for joining us. Stay healthy and stay safe.